One of the main reasons why we, the human race, suffer is because of other people. We all have different conditioning. We have different backgrounds. We are all unique. So we have different expectations, perceptions, relationships, histories, and experiences. So we perceive things differently. Some people are more angry than others, and others are happier than others. So conflict erupts when other people behave in ways that trigger either negative memories or present a difference or present something foreign, something that is unfamiliar or unusual with who we are. Because remember the number one law of human nature: people love, actually, it's not the number one law, but one of the laws of nature is that people like the like. People will resonate more with you and will like you more if they recognize that you have something in common. When you have something in common, all your friends, all my friends, have something in common with us. Everybody has something in common with somebody, and that's how that commonality creates a friendship. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about jealous people. Good morning, it's Dr. Jacinta Mpali Kanamori. I'll be sharing with you 5 tips, psychologically proven tips of how you can detach from jealousy, envious, and toxic people. Now, very briefly, why do people develop behaviors of jealousy and envy and become extremely toxic? Why do we become jealous? Okay, so jealous, envy, and other toxic behaviors are mainly rooted on fear. So jealousy and envy are just escaping behavior from the fear that is underlying. And why is that? Let me give you an example. For instance, let's imagine that as a kid you were told that you're ugly because maybe you're too thin and you're too short. Let's give an example. You're too thin, whichever too thin means, but let's imagine you're lean and you're maybe 4 feet. You're really short, okay? You're small. And maybe your mom or your dad or your drunk relative said, "Oh my God, you are so ugly. Look at you. You're too thin, you're too lean, and you're just too short." Okay. So you believe that those lies. And as you get older, you find all these people who look not like you, who look the opposite of you. Let's imagine you meet people who are taller and maybe a little bit bigger than you. So their image triggers the memory of the abuse or the insult that your rude relative told you. Their image presents a clear picture, an illustration of the gap between where you are, i.e. short and lean, and where you want to be, which is tall and bigger. Because you've already been told that being thin, being lean and short is an ugly thing. So now your mind is seeking for the opposite. So when you see the opposite and then you realize that you cannot actually achieve that, then your mind triggers emotions of jealousy. And if you continue being jealous, if you continue dwelling on the jealousy, then you become envious. Why? Because you are afraid that these people you're meeting are really going to isolate you because of who you are, because you believe you're ugly. These people, you are so afraid that the more people you see who look different from you, who are tall and bigger, the more it's thrown into your mind, into your face, that dang, you are short, you're lean, you're ugly, whatever that means. There is no one who is ugly. But anyway, the point is that fear of being isolated and being consistently reminded of the memory that you're ugly because you're short and lean triggers those feelings of envy, jealousy, and then ultimately you might even go for a toxic behavior like backstabbing, gossiping, witchcraft, whatever. Okay, so let's imagine that you meet someone with that behavior. Let's imagine you have this really good friend And then you later find out that, oh Lord, she's not a friend. She's backstabbing you, gossiping about you, taking what you have, trying to steal from you. What do you do? What do you do to detach from such a person? Okay, so the number one tip is to know that it's their business. It's their business. Let me explain. Everyone depends according to their internal representations, their conditioning, what's inside of them. People don't behave based on what's outside. No, they react to what's outside. But behavior is a product of conditioning. So you don't have anything to do with people's behavior. No one has anything to do with somebody else's behavior. It's the conditioning within them that promotes that behavior. So the sooner you understand that that's their business, that is their conditioning, that is their memory, those are their memories, that is fear ingrained in their system, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you, however rude they might be, however jealous or whatever you find out about them, that will liberate your mind from continuing to create relationships and perceptions and digging your emotions deeper down into negativity. So once you find somebody, oh my God, this person backstabbed me, or I found many of those in my own life, you are like, okay, so it's their business. You know that saying that squeeze an orange and you get an orange? Exactly, you get orange juice. So it doesn't matter who you are. If someone is jealous, that is what is in their mind, in their conditioning. So it's their business. So that will liberate you from emotionally detaching from creating relationships with their behavior. And then tip number 2, just know that they are suffering. Let me tell you, if someone is happy, that means there is happiness within them. They are going to behave in happy ways. They are going to produce happy things, happy. They are going to act in happy ways. Remember what I said? Behavior is a product of our inner world, of conditioning. So if someone is suffering, they are going to behave in ways that make others suffer. They are not going to behave in ways that make others happy. No, misery loves company. So they are suffering, they are going to behave in a suffering way, and it's going to come across as jealousy. They are suffering. They are dealing with something. They are dealing with a memory. It's hurting them. It's killing them. So they are going to behave that way. Okay, so how does that help you? Because you kind of like step back and stop judging so much. You kind of like remember that, look at your own life and your own behavior, and know that when you're happy, treat people better. When you're sad or angry, it takes more than wishful thinking to treat people in positive ways. So if someone is jealous, then they are literally suffering. Okay, so that helps you to just stop the judgment, and again, retracts you, help you to detach from perceiving and creating relationships and coming up with conclusions that have absolutely nothing to do with you. At least their behavior has nothing to do with you. And then tip number 3 is that you can ignore them. You can detach from defining and associating. Let's imagine that you find out that somebody has been backstabbing you for a very long time. For instance, I had this person who really wanted to do what I do, and one of my specialties is dealing with addictions. And then this person started going around my back and calling the clients that they knew that I had and saying, "Listen, fire her. I will help you. I'll help you." This person even wanted me to train her in a day or two about the psychology of addictions, because she was so hungry to take all my clients. Okay, so detaching from their behavior was a little bit hard. I kind of like, in the beginning, I individualized it and took it personal. But then later I realized that, I can ignore this. This person is suffering. This person has a lot of fear. Maybe they think that they will never find their own clients. Maybe they think that they are not good enough. So I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to detach from expanding and attaching and defining, perceiving their behavior has anything to do with me. Then tip number 4 is block them. Oh yeah, you know, if someone is treating you in a negative way, or not even treating you, is behaving in ways that trigger negativity within you, and is consistently almost testing you to create perceptions of anger and bitterness, block them out of your life. It's easy. Block. If it's social media, block. Just completely surround yourself and block them off, and you'll find them everywhere. But if you can block someone off who is envious, block them. Block off all communications. Don't pick up their phone calls. Don't respond to them. Block their numbers so that you cannot be tempted to perceive and create relationships and associations within you which will dig you deeper into the jail, into the dungeon of emotional turmoil. Then tip number 5 is to focus on your own business. Your business is your inner world in this context. Is your inner world and your conditioning. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you really want. How do you want to feel? What in you is fighting so hard to perceive anyone's behavior as negative? What is this saying about your own conditioning? So focus on your own conditioning, your beliefs, the things that you love, the things that you have, how you can stretch, and how you can progress, instead of focusing on other people's businesses and their behavior. Okay, so in a nutshell, tip number 1 is know that it's their behavior. It is their behavior. Like I said, squeeze an orange and you will get orange juice. So that will help you detach from perceiving or defining other people's behavior. Tip number 2, know that they're suffering. This will help you from detaching, from judging them, because when you're judging, you're involving, you're engaging your emotions. And let me tell you, the mind is so devilish. The mind will use you and dig a deeper hole for you. You'll feel so bad, and then the mind will start sending you messages of, oh my God, look at you being so negative. So don't trust your mind. Use it. Use it to create your own real emotional reality. So know that these people are suffering, so I'm not going to judge them. Tip number 3 is that you can ignore them. Yes, ignore their behavior and detach, reframe. Watch your mind coming up with all sorts of definitions. Oh my God, how can they backstab you? Da, 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 da. Do not engage, entertain even a single thought, because the mind is going to drag you into defining more, relating more, coming up with opinions and perceptions, and at the end of the day, who will be suffering? You, not even the person who backstabbed you. And then tip number 4 is block them. Block them. If you can block them, block them. Block off all communication. And then tip number 5 is focus on your own business. Business in this context, I'm referring to your inner world, your conditioning, your beliefs, what you want, who you are, and how much you can access more of who you truly are, which is a divine instrument created in the very image of God, meaning that you're not your emotions, you're not your mind, you're not your body, you are more. Now, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I know it will help you. Remember, if you need more work on spiritual healing and transformational coaching, please send me an email on the email address attached below. If not, no worries. Please subscribe to my channel. In the interim, I'm sending you abundant love from my heart to yours. Peace and blessings.